Welcome to It Is What It Is, a true crime podcast. I'm your host, Shaw Marie. Hopefully everybody's going to have a great week. I actually had a guest this week via the telephone, 2 of them. I talked to an amazing lady. I say lady even though we're the same age. It makes her sound old. She's not old. But I talked to Carissa and her friend T Money, and she's going through a very shitty relationship, and the fact that she felt brave enough to reach out to me and to want to be on a podcast and be open and use her name and all that fun jazz speaks to her strength. And she knows that this relationship that she is in is a very, very bad one, and it's a very, very scary one. And she doesn't really think that her chances of making it away from this relationship are very high. And that's very sad because she's an amazing girl. Believe me, we spent hours on the phone after we were done recording, talking about a bunch of random other shit. I'm going to have her back on because I guess she has a ghost story that's been following her whole life and other ghosts and just ghostess. And so I got to talk to her about that. And I want to keep checking up on her because I'm just, you find those people that you come across that like to touch you. They touch your heart, they touch your soul. And she was one of them. And her friend's name is T Money. Come on now. But she just wanted to bring awareness, and it's extremely brave of a person. A person to, in a relationship like this, to speak out while trying to escape it, just so that their voices are on the record of what they tried to do. And she's tried the police route, and she's tried the running away and hiding route. She's tried the protection order route. And she's done all of these things, and nothing is working. And it's now to the point where this poor girl is going to have to leave everything and anything she knows behind, and go and start anew in a whole new state, a whole new place. And just hoping that this guy doesn't find her. And what's really shitty about the whole thing is, on the start of our phone call, I don't start recording it right away, because originally it was going to be a retelling of her story. And I'm talking to her, and she's telling me, like, oh, right now I'm in a whole other city, in the same state, but a whole other city, trying my hardest to get away from him. And she says she's at a gas station, and next thing I know, she says, oh fuck, there he is. And he has found her, and he's asking her if she's, because he knows that she's going to be on a podcast. She made it very clear to him she was. Obviously not about what, but he's like asking her if she's on hold, and like all the, like I hear him. And so I'm like, okay. And like I can hear that she's kind of like muting the phone. Like she's talking to me, and then she gets quiet, and then she'll come back on after I ask her something. And so I'm like, oh my God, she's muting her phone. Like it sounded like that. I'm not going to say she was, but that's what it sounded like. And so I was like, okay, I need to start recording this. And I let her know, okay, I am going to start recording this. And then that's when she's like, I'm like, she's frazzled. So she's like, I want to tell you the situations. And she's like, my roommate knows more. I'm going to have to get you and my old roommate together. And I'm like, well, shit, let's do it now. Let's do. So then we get T Money on the line, and T Money lived with her and him while they were together. And they met one day at the beach, moved in together 2 weeks later. He's never left. He's gotten crazier and crazier. He was fresh out of jail when she met him for a nonviolent charge. and gel fucked with his head, and he was not rehabilitated in any way, shape, or form. So he ends up with these two lovely ladies. And T Money lives with them for a while, and she ends up having to move out because of the situation and everything else. And you guys will hear that because I'll play the whole recording after I obviously tell you guys about it. But I don't know. It's just, it was very eye-opening. It was very heartwarming and just amazing. It was awesome to be able to talk to her and just get a feel for what she's been through, what she's gone through. I love hearing people's stories, even though she's in this situation right now, just knowing that there's hope that she is going to make it away and be able to start anew. And I don't know. Like, I have no idea. It's just, it was so heartbreaking, and then at the same time, so empowering. So it was just really nice, and it's always nice when you can make new friends, I guess. She kept saying, oh, we're talking to somebody famous, and I was like, pish posh, stop it. My head is too big. I'm in a car right now. You can't swell it up that big. So, like, I don't know. You guys will hear our interview, and hopefully it teaches you something. Hopefully you learn something. Yeah. And this just goes to show that, like, you yourself can come on and tell your story, your words. You, your friend, can come on and tell your guys' story. Usually people want me to just retell their stories, and I like it when I get to ask you questions and dive deeper into it than just what you email me and have me read off. So it was really nice. I super enjoyed it. I really hope that you guys, like I said, stay friends, stay together. And I love you ladies. You guys touch my heart in a special place. So keep listening, keep sharing. And if you need me, girl, you got my number. You both do. And so hopefully you guys like our episode. And have a great weekend. I love you guys. Bye. And so I'm just trying to get, she said that you would probably remember a little more than she would. Because obviously hers is like blocked out by trauma and whatever. So if you just want to kind of like run through what it was like for you living there and kind of what happened.
Oh boy, okay.
Put you on the spot?
I'm throwing you on the spot. It's okay. Yeah, so there was a couple of times where we'd be just like hanging out, cleaning the kitchen, and he'd come in and get all mad at her and start cussing and yelling and saying fuck you and saying fuck you to me too. And this one time we ended up locking ourselves in my room, and he was on the other side of the door banging on it and kicking it in and saying he was calling the cops. And so we were making noise, saying if he was really on the phone with the cops to get them here because we were the ones in distress.
Right.
And turns out he was lying. He didn't call the cops at all. He was calling his friend. But he bent the door hinges, and I was actually on the phone with my best friend at the time too, talking to her because we were all freaked out, and she was concerned for our safety as well.
Has this been, was that your first, like, was that your first time being around, like, domestic abuse in that way?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it freaked me out, and needless to say, it freaked her out too. And then I moved out because he'd talk about him having dreams of like killing me, and he thought it was funny.
Oh, wait, he had what?
Yeah. He would tell me that he had dreams about killing me and thought it was funny, and he'd tell me how he'd kill me. And yeah, that's pretty much what I knew. Like, I needed to get out for my own safety as well, because the environment was just bad to be around, especially with the way he would talk and treat her, and he was jealous of our friendship and thought that we were fooling around and would get mad at me for being there and just say derogatory things to me as well as her, and just treated her like crap. And Darren, so I was telling her about the Apple Watch. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So that was after I had moved out, and I was at my new place with my roommate, and I got this ping on my phone, and it said it was just an emergency alert thing, giving me the location of where Carissa was at the time. And I called her because I wasn't really sure what was going on. I had no idea why she would be where that location pinged. And she was like, yeah, I need help, meet me here. And she just kept sending SOS things over and over and over again. And so I went to meet her, and she had called me and was like, just kidding, don't meet me there. And she told me that we were meeting elsewhere, but he doesn't know we're meeting elsewhere, and asked me to get the cops there to meet them there. And so that's what I did.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so terrifying. And how long have you two been friends?
Since 2019.
Oh my gosh.
Not very long. Yeah.
Not very long, but that's crazy.
I have like an SOS team. Yes. If I have emergency, it's no joke. Please. So when I hit that ping on my watch, she had the cops meet me at a gas station. So I pulled up to a pump, and I got out like I was going to get gas. And one officer came from like the front of my car, and another officer like pulled Jamie out of the side of the car. It was like SWAT. It was nuts. Like, all the troops were rallied and ready to go.
And this is after how long?
It was amazing. Like, it was amazing.
This is after she moved out?
Yeah, this was after I had moved out.
Oh my God. That's so terrifying. That's crazy.
Yeah. It gets better. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Yeah, I've been there a lot of the times that things have gotten bad.
Has it ever gotten violent with you?
And he's never gotten like physical with me. He says terrible things to me all the time, but he never touched me.
Okay.
Thank God.
Yeah, right. That's so. What else? Like, what others? I know it sounds weird that I'm like, ooh, tell me about all the times your friend got beat up, but
So, remember that time we were on the phone and you called the cops?
Yeah, there's so many times.
how many times have you called the cops?
Probably like 5 times within 2020.
You yourself.
Yeah,
Oh my fuck! Wow. Okay.
yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. Like, the number of reports, it doesn't matter because I can't say anything. He's gonna come home. I'm gonna have to deal with him.
And Karen,
Yeah.
you're telling them that.
It's Taryn with the T.
Oh, Taryn. My bad. Oh, damn. That's kind of cool.
My whole life.
Oh, dude, my name's Shaw Marie, so like I've gotten all sorts of stupid shit my whole life. Shauna Marie, yeah, I got all sorts of crazy shit. So when you call the cops, though, you're telling them like this dude's beating her up, and like shit's happening,
Yeah.
and still nothing is being done about this.
No.
Wow.
Did you tell her about the stalking?
No.
The stalking,
so-
like.
Before I called you.
Okay, so I had stayed the night over at their house, and it was fine. Like, we were all getting along. We didn't have any issues. And then that next morning, he just flipped. He was supposed to go to work, but Carissa didn't answer her phone right away. So he calls me and was like, I'm quitting work if she doesn't answer my phone call, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, whatever, dude. Like, you're too much. And so I hung up, and we had plans to go to the hot springs that day. So we drove over to my house, which isn't that far, like maybe 2 miles away from their place. And as we were pulling out of my driveway, he was right behind us. And he was supposed to be at work in a different town.
Oh my
But
god.
he was right behind us, and he followed us all the way from my place to the liquor store because we were going to get drinks and then go to the hot springs and hang out and have a good girls' day. And he made a scene there, and he had walked out the door, and Carissa went up to the clerk and was like, do you guys have security cameras? Can you tell me if he's gone? Like, I need to know that he's not there. And the dude's like, yeah, I'll go talk to my manager real quick. Is he following you? And we're like, yeah. And I don't remember what happened at that point exactly, but we ended up going outside, and we were driving to our hot springs, and sure enough, he pulls up behind us and is following, and so Carissa pulled over and picked up her phone like she was going to call the cops.
I remember exactly what happened. You went out to the car, I sat in the liquor store and waited, and when I came outside, because I was like, okay, I think the coast is clear, he was outside screaming at you in the car.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He was trying to tell me that he just wanted to talk to you, and that, you were being dramatic, and I was like, I can't do this, I can't keep being put in this situation, please just leave us alone, like, we're just trying to have, because this was when you asked to go for my roommate's birthday. We were going to go to another hot springs in a different part of the state, and we were going to have a girls' night, and that's what triggered him.
Oh my god.
He was mad about the girls' night that we were going to have, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, she should be, like, I literally just want to go have fun with my friend, because my roommate knows her too, and we all kind of hung out a lot, and so we were just going to, like, make this special thing for my friend's birthday, which ended up not happening because of all the drama.
Oh my god.
But, we drove away from the store, and we're headed to the hot springs that are closer to us. and Carissa had pulled over to pick up her phone, and he thought she was calling the cops, so he left us alone. And so we went to the hot springs, and we were there for 2 to 3 hours. We were gone for a long time. And the second we got back into town, we went and got food at this little burger drive-in place. And the second we pulled over to eat, he showed up, reached in the car, took the keys out of the ignition, and pretty much just said, "Fuck you," and walked away. And so we called the cops.
What the
and
heck?
they told us
It was
that,
super embarrassing because we had no pants on.
yeah, we had no pants.
We were like,
God, that's what he was.
Oh my god.
So the cop's like, "Okay, well, can I talk to you separately?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I don't have pants on." He was like, "That's fine." And Carissa had a blanket or something and gave it to me so I could cover myself a little bit. And I went and talked to him for a bit, and they were like, "Well, technically this isn't this isn't harassment." Even though it was, because he had called us multiple times. Obviously we had been gone for hours, and the second we get back into town, he knew where we were.
Right.
The second it happened, he either had to have been waiting there or had somebody watching us. I don't know. It freaked me the hell out. And yeah, they pretty much just said they couldn't do anything because it didn't fit the definition of harassment.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like now that you know that you're in a different town and this has happened again and he's found you again?
I don't know. He'll find me no matter where I go. He will. Even if I'm not posting on social media,
Mm-hmm.
I told Karen this, he will kill me. He will. How many times has Karen, have you heard him say, he's going to be mine forever?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Did you tell her about, this one is crazy. So Carissa had come to stay with me for a few days because he had threatened to bash her head in with a log.
Oh my god.
And he, we were trying to...
Hey, I got a rejoin team behind us. It's a rustic lumber place, and I run there to... Hold on one sec.
Okay. Hello.
Okay, so there's this lumber yard behind our property, and they have shacks or
little shed.
yeah, little storage sheds that have doors and they're insulated and roofing, so I would be sheltered from the wind or the snow that I would hide out in sometimes. So I was booking it back there, and he found me and was "Are you ready to die, bitch?" He was going to hit my head in with a log.
Oh my god.
And I don't know, something startled him. He let go of the log and let me go.
Yeah, and then she ran to my house. It took a couple of hours, though, because every headlight terrified her. So she'd hide every time she saw light. So it took her 2 hours to get to me, even though I don't live that far away.
Right.
And so she was staying with me for a couple of days, and he said he was trying to get help, and so one of our coworkers has been sober for 14 years, so he was trying to help out, and had like kind of arranged a thing for all of us to go back to the house, and it was kind of like decided that they wouldn't be alone together, like we were all going to be there. And so I was like, okay, then let's go. And we get there, and he's like, I want to talk to you alone. And I like straight up said to him, I was like, she's not talking to you alone. You're going to have to talk to her in front of all of us. And he said, I kid you not, this is word for word, if you really thought I was going to hurt her, do you think any of you would be able to stop me?
Oh, wow.
And the last thing I heard, oh goodness, sorry, what was the last thing you heard?
He was telling her that if he really wanted to hurt you, nobody would be able to stop him.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah. So instead of like a normal person would say, oh, I'm not going to hurt you, I just want to talk to you, he was like, you really think any of you are going to be able to stop me?
That's insane.
Yeah.
Okay, and I know a lot of people are going to ask this, even though I know the answer, but other people obviously are not going to be smart enough to get it.
Right.
But
Yes.
why did you keep going back?
I keep going back because my life is more in danger when I'm away from him.
Okay.
He will find me. He obviously is stalking me. He's doing everything he can to hunt me down.
I mean, and this is happening while we're talking.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So putting, like, so the cops are like, why don't you put a restraining order out? Okay, well, let's poke the bear and put a piece of paper between us.
Right.
I promise you, no officer will be there before the coroner shows up.
So, I love your nickname. What is it? Team Money?
Yes.
All right, I'm digging it. So, what do you feel, I guess I should say, what do you see when you want to shake her because she's your friend and you want to be like, girl, just fucking let's go, like, be done. What is your process through that whole thing? And, like, what is your, like, when I was in this situation, my friends finally just washed their hands of me. They were like, bitch, you're not gonna get it. I'm bouncing. I'm done.
Yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard. So before this last offense, he had another GPS monitor on him, so he wasn't allowed to like get within like 1,500 feet of the property. And I was like, okay, this is good. Like, she can get out. Like, This will be it. Like, he can't come back. And then she had FaceTimed me and showed me that they had gotten their names tattooed on each other, and I lost my shit. I can't do this. Like, I wrote her a letter. I was like, I'm hurt. Like, I thought this was a way for you to get out. Like, I thought we could finally do it. Like, his uncle was coming and getting his stuff. He had a GPS monitor on him. He wasn't allowed to come within our work. He wasn't allowed to come within the range of the house. Like, I figured, like, this would give her enough time to get her things and get out. Our whole work went on lockdown. Like, yeah. People that work there couldn't even get in without being let in. Yeah. And by a supervisor, too. It wasn't like anybody could just let them in.
So this happened was this at, like, the beginning of the whole corona?
No, this was 2021. This was like
oh shit.
Yeah, this was like beginning of the year. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's super recent. Yeah. It's just like recently it's escalated to
worse and worse and worse. Nightmarish.
So he knows you're on a podcast, well, doing a podcast. What does he think the podcast is for?
Well, I had a really shitty childhood, but so did, 90% of America.
Right.
So that's what he thinks about.
So my question is like your level of safety is what I'm concerned about right now in releasing this.
No, so I feel like my level of safety will not be compromised because it's already early.
Okay.
He's gonna find out where I am. He's gonna find out what I'm doing. I just want to spread awareness. Law enforcement needs to get educated.
Right.
As from my being there every time the cops show up and they're like, well, you just need to get a restraining order. Obviously, a piece of paper isn't going to save her life.
Obviously.
Yeah, maybe legally, but in the end, it's a piece of paper. It's not going to do anything to save her. And, she's so shaken up. She can't talk to the cops. We're locked in a bathroom. Thankfully, one of the cops decided to come in there with us and, talk to us for a bit. But there needs to be, an advocate that comes to domestic calls like that so that they have somebody that they feel safe talking to that's not going to be we'll get a restraining order, we'll get a restraining order, we'll get a restraining order.
Right.
Somebody there that can be okay, this is traumatic. You're this dealing with trauma right now. You're probably really freaked out. There needs to be somebody there that can help in that moment.
Oh yeah.
More than just the cops getting him out.
And so what do they do when they come? Is it more of let's separate, get stories and then leave, or is it?
Yeah, well, they just want statements. They want you to tell them whatever you have to tell them.
And even when you've been there, I love your Team Money. I love it. I fucking love it. Anyway, so even when you've been there and called and been no, I've seen him put his hands on her. I'm your witness. What happens in those situations?
Not much. They still are well, we need her to talk.
Okay.
She has to tell us what happened.
Okay.
Even though you are directly in the line of fire, you're there in the midst of everything.
Yes.
That's insane. All they want is your statement, even though you've seen it.
Yeah. And, they've put words into my mouth that I haven't said. I've seen them do it multiple times to her. And so it's what's the point of saying anything because you're just going to distort it?
Right.
So it doesn't really feel like even giving a statement's going to help anything.
I can see how that would feel that way. Because honestly, I think in that situation, it would be I would feel if something goes down, my friend is more likely going to be the one that hears my dying breath and care more than the police do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't want that to happen.
Obviously.
I love her.
Yeah.
I want the best for her, and it's hard seeing this and that nobody's doing anything about it.
Yeah, tell me about that a little bit, about your frustration on having to watch this and see her reach out to the police and nothing come of that, and her still be, and I know her and him getting back in the same house, obviously there's some she has to open the door, so
yeah,
how does all of that, I've never the friends I had in the time of my abuse, now they're just like, oh, bitch, I'm glad you're not dumb. Like, remember that one time you were being dumb? You're not dumb. And they've never really told me how they felt and what it was like for them. So I'm really interested on that for you, on being there and seeing this and caring so much about her. What is that like?
It's hard. It's difficult. Like I said, when that last time she opened the door for him, I wrote her a letter, and I was like, I told you this before, I can't keep being put in these situations. I can't be here for you anymore. And she, like, wrote me a letter back. She's like, I understand. And I was like, really? You're coming up on me? I was like, you're not even going to try to fight? And she's like, well, no, I know, like, it was hard because I care about her a lot, and, like, I need to distance myself to keep my sanity.
Right.
In my mind over here, too, and I can only imagine what she's going through. I was like, I want to be there for you, but I can't keep being there for you, but I'm a sucker, and I keep going back.
Well, she seems like a down-ass bitch, so I mean, hey.
Yeah. I'm stuck.
Hey, your situation's the good kind of stuck, I think. I think you're good.
And, like, that's the thing, too, is, like, I know that because I've listened more, I've learned a lot more about it because of what she's gone through. Like, I'm more aware about it now than I ever have been, and, like, it's not as simple as just leaving him. It's not black and white. It's complex, and there's so many things to it, and it's like, I know, like, this isn't good for me to be in, but I don't want her to be alone.
Exactly.
I can't be the one that's like, goodbye, bitch, you're gone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want her to be alone. I don't want her to feel alone. I don't want her to like, if he does take a life from her, I don't want her last thoughts to be like, he took everyone and now he's taking me.
Right.
Like, I want her to be able to be like, at least somebody cares.
Oh my God, girl. Ugh. Damn, don't you ever leave her. Ever. That's just, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking knowing that there's been so many times that both of you have tried what you guys think to be the right thing to get help for the situation. And at the end of it, it's just you two standing there being like, what the fuck?
Exactly. And it's hard for me because my family's huge into law enforcement. Like, my grandma used to be a judge.
Oh, wow.
My uncle was a cop. My sister trains cops. Like, I grew up, like, some of my best friends were cops growing up because that's just the atmosphere I was in. And so, like, I've always had this trust in them. And now it's like, where are you guys? What are you doing?
Right. Before me obviously seeing this firsthand, were you one of the people who did do the good old fashioned, like, oh my God, just get your shit and leave, it's that easy?
Yeah. I mean, like, if you're in that bad of a situation, just leave, go, get the hell out of there.
Right.
But I think it's so easy for people that haven't witnessed it to write it off like that.
Right.
Because it isn't easy.
No.
I'm not the victim here, she is, and it's hard for me, like, to get out of it too, because I want to be there for her, and I'm not going anywhere.
Right.
And everybody's like, well, if this relationship with him and her is affecting you this much, you need to get out. And I was like, I know, but I can't just leave her.
God, you're so awesome. That's just...
I'm sitting here bawling my eyes out. She is so awesome.
I knew that's why you got quiet. I was like, oh, damn, she be crying right now.
It is super hard because it doesn't matter what I do or where I go or how hard I try. He'll never leave. He never will. And so now I'm
leave everything and go. And I know even then he'll find me. And it's super scary because I'm gonna die alone. And I don't know anyone where I'm going. I have no friends. I have no family. I have no nothing. I'm just going to get away. I don't even know if it's the right choice.
From the sounds of it, it seems like, hon, that it is the right choice. And don't say where you're going, because remember, we are being recorded. And I have people, if my judge of character obviously probably is something you can't trust because we don't know each other personally, but I do know people in that area. So, I mean, I can give you connections to some down-ass people, some very solid people that I know. But, I mean, obviously that doesn't help with the feeling alone. And I'd hate to say that, like, leaving and going to a whole other place is, like, the right thing to do. But sometimes that's, as shitty as it is, that's what you gotta do to survive.
If we could raise money to get a private plane to Bermuda, I would love to go there. Yes.
Shit, I wish, girl, because I think we'd all go with you.
Yeah. Okay, let's just get a plane for 6.
So down.
You can fly it.
I don't know about that, but
We'll start practicing.
oh man, it sounds like you've gone through some scary, life-changing shit, dude. But I really hope that you two stay together, even though you're going to a different place. Don't ever stop sending her those SOSs. Because it really sounds like she's going to be the one that will always answer that phone.
Right?
Yeah. Like,
I would. Yeah.
That's just...
Be my savior.
Yeah. That's no shit. Because, like, honestly, I mean, when we started this phone call, for you to be like, oh yeah, I'm in a whole other town, and oh fuck, there he is, just randomly standing there. That's hella concerning. And then that's just like, that's before I even know anything. And then to hear all the stuff that you guys have been through in only 2 years time blows my mind. Normally this shit, like the relationship I was in was like 6 years. So like, and it didn't get like super crazy. Yeah, like, and for it to only be 2 years. Oh man. That's just so crazy.
I was listening to your podcast the other day about prejudice and different states having different levels of prejudice. And so Montana is a very conservative state, right?
Yes.
T-Money, you're still there? Yes. Okay, so maybe this is just my feeling about Montana, but there is not diversity here. Like, when you get a new job, they talk about diversity, and there's, like, black people and Asian and Mexicans and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But when you see one in public, you want to, maybe it's just me, but I want to, like, touch them, and I want to say, like, hey, where are you from? Because they're, like, foreign.
Right.
Like, it's like seeing a bald eagle on a snowy day in the middle of the yard. It's just not going to happen.
So where you guys are,
it's
it's...
more likely than the other.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if it's prejudice or not prejudice. It's just like,
We
I want to know more.
yeah.
Because they're not familiar.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you were talking about prejudice and, like, how people feel about other races, and I don't know that I am or am not prejudiced. I just don't. I'm super in your face all the time.
Yeah, she is.
I get that told up too, quite
So
often.
if there's something like out of my realm, I want to know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
So,
it's hard. Like I don't know the Hard Knocks. I don't know the Bronx. I don't know Chinatown. Whatever.
right. Are you originally
I don't
from
know.
Montana?
Yes.
Okay. Both of you are?
Yeah.
And where you guys are, is it like... Where are, like, you don't have to tell me, like, exactly where you are, but where are you guys around Billings?
It doesn't matter. Like, all of Montana is predominantly white.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if other people, like dark people, are coming up here, whether they're black, white, Mexican, usually if they are Asian, they're tourists.
Yeah, we have that here too.
They're coming up in like a group, and they're just touring, whatever. Yeah.
So I'm guessing he's not white, or is he white?
Most deaf white.
Okay.
Super white. Super white.
Wow.
Born in Germany.
Oh, wow.
And are we still recording?
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody and everybody out there that wants to get on Ancestry.com, just don't do it. Because my whole life, I'm super excited to be on this podcast because I want to make this like a worldwide thing.
I don't really know what you're going to say.
Get on Ancestry.com because my entire life I thought that I was German. My whole freaking life. And I got on Ancestry.com and I found out that I was Russian, and I was super proud to have my best friend was Jew. Her whole family was Jewish my whole life, and I was like, oh, we're severing the ties, and it's all going to be good. It's all... Yeah. So none of that shit even matters. I'm not even German. So don't get on Ancestry.com because your whole life might change for the worse.
Oh, that's great that that's your...
Your whole pride might just change.
I love that that's what you want people to know.
Oh, so bad.
Oh, I love it. Oh, my God.
Sorry, I get passionate about stuff.
Oh,
I
you're
banter
fine.
with you all the time. And obviously you can't hear it, but I do.
Weird question. I know this is like not about me, but how did you even stumble across my podcast? Because I've always wondered how people find it because it's so little.
I look up. I think I looked up is what it is. It is what it is.
Oh, how cool. I'm like, when people message me, I'm like, fuck
There's
yeah.
something actually called that. I better listen up.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I think actually that's how I found it.
But yeah, we listen to a lot of podcasts, and she sends me a lot too. So
I'm a junkie.
yeah. So if there's any podcast out there, chances are we'll listen to it at some point.
Oh, I feel honored. I love it when people message me.
Episodes. I have like 30 still to listen to.
Yeah, are you past the ones where I had a co-host?
I think those are intermittent because I download recent and like the back ones come through.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I'm so glad you reached out to me and let me hear your story and had Team Money come on, because this has just been, it's like, it's sad obviously because like you've had a really shitty situation.
It is super sucky, but seriously, spread awareness. Like, don't call the cops because the cops won't do shit. They'll just poke the bear, and then the bear will get more mad and scratches you a little more.
Everybody needs to get themselves a Team Money.
Yeah. Get yourself a T-Money and don't let her lose.
That's right.
There ain't no kiss and release. Gotta hook that sucker.
Team Money, is there anything you want people to know when it comes to being a friend of a person in this situation?
It's important to make sure that you're okay too. Like, just because they go back doesn't mean, like, isn't a good reason to leave. You need to be there for them and be supportive of them. And just let them know that you're there, even if you can't be there all the time, to be like, hey, I know things are really bad and I need to get out because this isn't good for me either, but I'm still here at the end of the day if you need me. So it's okay to distance yourself, just don't exile yourself from them.
Nice. I think that's really good.
I don't know how you could live with yourself after, like, say you do, like, want nothing to do with them, and then they do end up dead.
Right.
And you could have, I'm not saying you could have saved them, but you could have given them more comfort.
Yeah.
So the world is a scary place, and it's not good to be alone in it.
I agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. I really hope that you guys don't ever lose touch, even though she's moving away. Make sure that you're always going to be that one to answer her call.
Every time. Even at early mornings in the hour. I can't speak sometimes, it's fine.
Hey, we all suffer.
Honey, we have a 911 emergency. My dog has this pop. We're stuck in there. I'm coming over.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'll unlock the door.
Oh my gosh. That's so good.
Yeah.
Is there anything else before I stop recording that you want to add?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, let me stop this real quick. You guys, my podcast made it into the voting round of the local newspapers Post Register's People's Choice. I would really, truly appreciate it if I could get everybody's vote that listens to this for the month of May. It would mean the world to me. If you could, it would just be amazing and awesome. I share the link on every one of my social media pages, my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Facebook. And you can vote once a day, every day, for the whole month of May. Until, like, not the whole month because it ends on like the 23rd. But just vote. Vote, vote, vote. This is the only voting you will ever hear me ask you to do. Vote, vote, vote. And please keep in mind, my brother is still missing. His name is Nikos Tessman. He is 5'11". He has a tattoo across his back that says Ghost. He has dirty blonde hair. He's kind of getting balder, actually. So look for like a bald spot. He likes to skateboard around and ride the bus around California, around the Oakland area, kind of. He was last seen and liked going to Washington Park in Alameda, California. He has not talked to his mother or reached her or done anything since February of 2020. We were involved in asking help from the Oakland Police Department, and that has not gone anywhere. So we have turned to the Sheriff Lumpkin here in Idaho, and she is taking over this, and the number for her is 208-879-2232. If you have any information, you can also contact her on Facebook. It's Sheriff Lumpkin. And once again, his name is Nikos Tessman from the California area. His mother lives in Clayton, Idaho. And we would just love to get any information anybody has out there and just keep his name out there. So if you've seen him, heard of him, anything like that, please let me know. And we truly, truly appreciate everybody sharing it and praying for his safe return. Thank you.